team. Today I am going to discuss about a very important topic, shigellosis or bacillary dysentery. So first of all, I am going to define that what is dysentery. Severe diarrhea accompanied by blood or mucus is called dysentery. And the previous lecture we have discussed that what is diarrhea. We have discussed that diarrhea is loose motion, while dysentery is the more specific. We said that when there is blood or mucus accompanied with diarrhea is called dysentery. But today I am going to discuss a special type of dysentery, that is bacillary dysentery or shigellosis. Actually, shigellosis is also known as bacillary dysentery. And what is bacillary dysentery or shigellosis? It is a severe form of diarrhea caused by a group of facultative anaerobic gram-negative rod of the genus Shigella. Bacillary dysentery is severe form of diarrhea that is caused by the gram-negative rod Shigella bacteria. Special type of bacteria. This is called Shigella bacteria. You know that this bacteria was named, the genre of this bacteria was named for the Japanese microbiologist Kyoshi Shiga, who for the first time discovered this bacteria. Therefore this bacteria is called Shigella. Actually, this bacteria do not have natural reservoir in animal, but it spread from person to person. Many outbreaks occur in families, daycare facilities, and similar setting. The bacterial infection such as salmonellosis and shigellosis usually have longer incubation period, about 12 hours to 2 weeks. Then bacterial intoxication when toxin are ingested, while bacterial infection when the bacteria are ingested, it is called bacterial infection, while in the case of intoxication the toxin are ingested. So the bacterial infection take many long incubation periods, 12 to 2 weeks. Why? Because the bacteria when enter the body, they must be grow and the body of the people. Bacterial infection are more characterized by fever, it indicating the host response to the infection. With bacteria enter the body, this bacteria must evade, they grow, they evade the immune response, so it take longer time. Shigellosis or bacillary dysentery is actually the bacterial infection. This is the, and this diagram depict the Shigella dysentery bacteria, and on the agar XLD agar we will discuss in diagnosis. The bacteria look like this, Salmonella look like this. This may develop necrosis of the intestine due to shigellosis infection, resulting in his death. Image in public domain found in CDC. Now, what is the causative agent of bacillary dysentery? We have discussed that Shigella is the causative agent. Now, what are the main property of Shigella? They are non-lactose fermenter, gram-negative rod. Actually, this bacteria is distinguished from Salmonella by 3 categories. The Shigella do not produce gas. They are non-fermenter, non-lactose fermenter, do not produce gas. They are gram-negative rod. Actually, they do not produce H2S. They are non-motile. So they are non-motile. All Shigella have O antigen, and their cell walls, and these antigen are used to divide the genus into 4 groups: A, B, C, and D. Now, common species. There are 4 species of pathogenic Shigella. One is Shigella sonai, Shigella dysentery, Shigella flexneri, Shigella bodai. Actually, these bacteria are resident only of intestinal tract of human, apes, and monkeys. These are closely related to the pathogenic E. coli. Now you should note that the common most species in the United States is Shigella sonai. It causes a relatively mild dysentery. Many cases of so-called traveler diarrhea might be mild form of shigellosis. At other extreme, infection with Shigella dysentery often result in severe dysentery and prostration. The toxin responsible is unusually virulent and is known as shigotoxin. If we talk about the pathogenesis, the Shigella are the most effective pathogen among the enteric bacteria. Why? Because they have a very low ID infectious dose. Ingestion of a few hundred organisms causes disease, where at least 10 raised to the power 5 by E. Vibrio cholera or Salmonella organism are required to produce symptom. Various property of Shigella and Salmonella are compared in the table. Reservoir for Shigella is human. Infectious dose is very low. Diarrhea is a prominent feature. Invasion of bloodstream is no. Chronic carrier state is no. Lactose fermentation is no. H2H production no. And vaccine are not available. You should note these Shigella. Well, if we compare the Salmonella, the infectious dose is high, diarrhea is prominent feature, invasion of bloodstream is yes, chronic stage is infrequent, lactose fermentation no, and H2S production yes, vaccine available no. Salmonella type E reservoir human, infectious dose high, diarrhea prominent feature no, invasion of bloodstream yes, carrier stage yes, lactose fermentation no, and H2S production yes. Vaccine is available for Salmonella type. You should know, you should remember this table. If we talk about the transmission, the mode of transmission is fecal oral route. Fecal oral route mean that you should know the 4F: finger, flies, food, and feces are the principal factor in the transmission. Flies, sometimes they are the mode of transmission, they act as a vector. Your finger, you know that you eat contaminated food or handle contaminated food or water, you can spread the disease. Outbreak, foodborne outbreak outnumber waterborne outbreak by 2:1. It means that foodborne diseases are major cause of the dysentery as compared to the waterborne disease. Outbreak occur in daycare, nursery, and mental hospital where fecal oral transmission is likely to occur. Children younger than 10 years account for approximately half of the Shigella positive stool culture. There is no prolonged carrier state with Shigella infection, unlike that seen in the typhoid fever. You look at these, this depict the fecal oral route transmission. You should avoid these things, so you should prevent the dysentery. Now we deeply discuss the pathogenesis. You know that Shigella, which causes diseases almost excessively in the GIT, produce bloody diarrhea, dysentery by evading the cell of the mucus of the distal ileum and colon. The ileum this is the ileum and this is the colon, large intestine. Local inflammation accompanied by ulceration occurs, but the organism rarely penetrate through the wall or enter the bloodstream, unlike salmonella. Salmonella enter the bloodstream, but they enter the Shigella, rarely enter the bloodstream. Although some strains produce an enterotoxin called Shiga toxin, actually envision is the critical factor in the pathogenesis. The evidence for this is that mutants that fail to produce enterotoxin but are invasive can still cause the disease, whereas non-invasive mutants are non-pathogenic. Shiga toxin produced by the Shigella, they removing adenine from the large 28S ribosomal RNA, thereby stopping protein synthesis. Shiga toxin is encoded by temperate lysogenic bacteriophage. Shiga toxin is also called verotoxin because it has a cytopathic effect on veromonkey. Now to understand the pathogenesis, look at the bacteria. This is the Shigella and this the epithelial cell lining the intestinal tract. What happened? The epithelial cell have hem protein. Shigella come attached to the M protein. What happened? The Shigella enter through the in the epithelial cell. Shigella multiply inside the cell. Shigella invade neighboring cells. These are the neighboring epithelial cell, thus evading immune responses. And abscesses sperm is epithelial cell are killed by the infection. The bacteria rarely spread to the bloodstream. You look at that how Shigella bacterium on the M cells of epithelial cell, it defects the virulence factor of the Shigella. So the main events I have discussed, that Shigella attach, enter the epithelial cell, multiply inside it, and then invade the neighboring cells, form abscesses, kill the neighboring the epithelial cell, and cause the infection. Actually, sign and symptom, clinical symptom, incubation period for shigellosis are dysentery. Basically, dysentery is 1 to 4 days. Symptom begin with fever, abdominal cramp, then followed by diarrhea, which may be watery at first, but later contain blood and mucus. The disease varies from mild to severe depending on two major factors: the species of Shigella and the age of the patient, with young children and elderly people being the most severely affected, while the those people they have strong immune system, they are less affected. Shigella dysentery, which causes the most severe disease, is usually seen in United States only in traveling returning from abroad. Shigella sonnei, which causes mild disease, is isolated from approximately 75% of all individuals with shigellosis in the United States. The diarrhea frequently resolve in 2 to 3 days. In severe cases, antibiotic can shorten the course. Serum agglutinin appear after recovery but are not protective because the organism does not enter the blood. The role of intestinal IgA in protection is uncertain. You know that if we see the cases, CDC estimate that there are about 4,50,000 cases of shigellosis annually. Most are caused by sonnei and chiefly affect children under the age of 5. Shigella dysentery has significant mortality rate, however, and the death rate in tropical area where it is prevalent with, can be as high as 20%. Some immunity seem to be result from recovery, but satisfactory vaccine has not been developed. Laboratory diagnosis. You know that Shigella is non-lactose fermenter. You can grow culture it on the Mekankey agar or AMB agar. On TSI, triple sugar iron, they cause an alkaline slant. They cause an alkaline slant. an acid butt. You know that you will it look acid butt. I have discussed in the previous date what is slant in butt. With no gas and no H2S, confirmation of the organism as Shigella and determination of its group are done by slide agglutination. One important adjuvant to laboratory diagnosis is a methylene blue stain of fecal sample to determine whether neutrophils are present or not. Look at these. If neutrophils are present, this means that it is the Shigella. This sample is taken from the stool of infected person of Shigella. If the neutrophils are not found, it means that there may be if neutrophils are not found, they may be cholera, E. coli or Clostridium purpurengens without neutrophil. While if they are found, in which organism Shigella, Salmonella, Campylobacter involved. This now another media is used for it is XLD, xylose lysine deoxychocolate agar. You know that Salmonella, Shigella do not ferment xylose. No acid will produce. Salmonella produce H2S. Now the colony will blackish in color, and Shigella do not produce H2S, so they will remain red. Now the treatment, the main treatment for shigellosis is fluid and electrolyte replacement. In mild cases, no antibiotic are indicated. In severe cases, a fluoroquinolone such as ciprofloxacin is the drug of choice. But incidence of plasmid conveying multiple drug resistance is high enough that antibiotic sensitivity test must be performed. Trimethoprim sulfamethoxazole is alternative choice. Anti-peristaltic drug are contraindicated in shigellosis because they prolong the fever, diarrhea and excretion of the organism. Anti-peristaltic drugs are those drugs that cause vomiting, so you should prevent this type of treatment. Now the prevention of shigellosis is depend on the interruption of fecal oral route transmission by proper sewage disposal, chlorination of water and personal hygiene, hand washing by food handler. There is no vaccine and no prophylactic antibiotic available, and no prophylactic antibiotic and prophylactic, there are no specific antibiotic, but you should use the ciprofloxacin or fluoroquinolone because the you use the antibiotic is prophylactic. So prophylactic antibiotic are not recommended. You should not use the antibiotic.